Hello everyone. Welcome to Accounting 151, Principles of Financial Accounting 2 for this semester. We're so grateful that you've joined us, and this video is just to help you make sure you are comfortable with the outline of this course and what is available for your resources to help you learn this semester. We're excited to work with you. This is our course site, and you see all of the most likely things that you need to be able to use at the top. Okay, so you can access all of the resources, including your grades and your class progress, which will show you what you've done, what you still need to do, and what your grade will be, all that at a click of the button. On the right side, my contact information, including my Zoom room that I use for office hours, as well as upcoming calendar items. If you scroll down far enough, probably the biggest, most prominent thing is our news feed, where each week, at least once a week, I will update what is upcoming in terms of class content, what we'll be covering, what will be due, that sort of thing, reminders of all the things that are going on. So that's the main page, which will have an awful lot of what you will need. Well, let's look at the content and how this is outlined. Everything, okay, is organized by module. The introductory module has the syllabus. We'll come back and look at that. A link to the online textbook, which you can order using this form, a printed copy, or you can just use it online. This is free. You can read it without a cost from day one. There's an introduction in terms of introducing yourself to the rest of the class, discussion board, not graded, just for the opportunity to meet everybody. And right here in the introduction, there's a class questions discussion that will be open all term long. So that's the introductory model. The other modules will all follow the same outline, the same things, organization. They will have a heading, they'll have the learning objectives, perhaps a little encouragement, and then they will have the reading and explanation section, which will have a link to just the textbook chapter we're covering this week, my PowerPoint slides from the reading, my explanation, usually in multiple podcasts of that information, and that the things that are covered in the textbook as well as in the PowerPoint slides. And then there will be a discussion learning module where we'll have a weekly graded discussion, as well as a discussion that's just for asking questions. That's not graded, is always open. The discussion that's graded will have a close date, which means you will be able to still read it, but will not be able to post past that date. Assignments learning module, where your homework will be, and that's how it'll work on every single one. When we have tests or writing assignments, they will show up in the assignments learning module section, or submodule as it's called. Okay, so that's how the course is. Every one of them looked basically the same, with different resources in each of the submodules. So let's go back to our syllabus and just look at a couple of highlights. Again, you can read this on your own, but just to make sure that you hit the highlights, I will be on the Zoom room from Tuesday and Thursday 10 to noon, and Tuesday evening 8 to 9. That's my office hours. If you have other times that you need, okay, then you can make an appointment. The link is there again, the same link is on the main page that we already looked at. Okay, some phone numbers to use if you want to make an actual phone call, email, all of those things. You can email me just through your, which I would suggest, just do it through the system here, like using the email link at the top. But you can also use my email. There's refund dates. There's other things. There's learning. Again, another link to the textbook here in the syllabus. Our learning outcomes, expectations, and then some things I want to just hit highlights on as far as the assignments and our grading. We'll have 2 tests. We'll have a midterm, which will be problem-oriented. You'll use Excel to complete. In the first module, there's even some instruction on how to use Excel if this is still unfamiliar, but we want you to use Excel. It makes it so much easier to go through the things we need to cover on the first midterm. The second test will be a final. That will be more multiple choice and short answer. Will be taken in Brightspace on the computer. You'll have a time limit. You'll be able to use whatever resources you have as long as you work on it on your own. Then the discussions. We saw where they are in the content. Each week there is a discussion that's graded. We're looking for 2 postings, at least 2 postings. The initial one should be done by Saturday. Follow-up one by Tuesday. That's going to be the same process every week. Same dates, deadlines. These need to be thought through. They need to follow the directions given in the discussion instructions. Make sure you're answering the right questions and giving the kind of information, especially with the follow-up. It's not a follow-up with just like, way you go, good job, that was great. You're going to answer a follow-up questions. So you need to pay attention to the instructions in order to get full credit. You must participate by posting twice. We hope you'll post as early as possible, but the deadlines are Saturday and then Tuesday. We will do some memos. They will show up in the assignments section. The specific instructions and the drop boxes we'll use. We will write the memo, submit a rough draft, get feedback from me. Then you will submit it a second time to a separate Dropbox where then we will give you a final grade. You'll get a grade on the rough draft and on the final. Final will be graded more closely than the rough draft by far because you will have had a chance to respond to the feedback. I will look at what feedback I gave and expect it to be corrected in the final draft. We're going to have to do a little bit of research. Make sure that you make citations when you use sources outside of our textbook or your own experience. And it should be clear if you're using the textbook or your own experience that that's where that came from. So we always give credit where that is expected. We'll do that. Have 2 memos, the rough draft, final draft, rough draft, final draft. So each will be worth 10 points, so a total of 40 points on the memos. We have a cumulative project. We'll see more of that. Again, it will be using Excel. It will kind of sum up all we learned through the first 5 chapters. And will be done towards the end of our term together. Homework. Just a review. Homework, the assignment, all the homework problems are in the textbook. So that's where we're getting the actual things we're working on. We'll complete the problems, we'll upload the answers. So these are problems, not the questions, not multiple choice, not true false, but the actual problem. So the last part of the last section of each chapter in the online textbook, they're due, answers are due on Saturday. Once you've submitted them, even if you submit them early, you can see my video reviewing the answers, and then you can make corrections to that by Monday. You don't have to wait till Monday. You can do it previous to that. As soon as you see the answers, you can make corrections. And so I will grade them based on how you make the corrections. If you make all the corrections, explain them, put them in a different color, then you get 10 points even if you missed a lot on the original submission. Okay. Also in the syllabus here is our course calendar. We will have essentially a break for Thanksgiving in week 6. All right, so basically we end up taking 8 weeks over the course of our term together. This is how our grading works out. You'll see all the things we mentioned in our review earlier and how they are, what the points they are worth. Breakdowns, basic percentages. We have makeup policy. You must let me know previous to missing a deadline that's going to happen. Otherwise, we may have to be more harsh on that. But this is, if I know reason, I may be able to waive the penalty of 10% per day in that case. Our attendance, which is, because online class, so it's whenever you want to, but you still need to be logging in regularly and participating in learning activities and completing assignments on time. And then there's the information about students with disabilities and how to access our student access services, our dishonesty policy, and how we will respond if you use somebody else's work. And we'll have a discussion about that, and hopefully we'll be able to rectify that. But best way to do that is just to do your own work, learn it the best you can, make your corrections as needed, and learn from those mistakes. Everything will be able to be corrected except for our 2 exams. So that's where we are, and hope to have a great next 7 weeks with you, or 8 weeks as it said on this calendar with the break.